Hello everybody, it's Adam Judd here again with What's Poppin' in Pattaya. Today is March 23rd, 2023, and boy, do we have some stories for you today. From shirtless foreigners going nuts at restaurants, to teens throwing Molotov cocktails, to a good Samaritan stopping somebody who decided to slash up a convenience store in Jomtien. But first, we wanted to thank you for tuning in and remind you to subscribe, like, and follow, and thank one of our sponsors, Elite Gym and Fitness, right here in Pattaya, which opens up their expansion on April 1st. You can learn more about that in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Now, let's get into what's poppin' in Pattaya. First up, the events. We're always going to start with events on a weekly basis so you can keep track with what's happening. This weekend is the final weekend, which I can hear some of our expat viewers saying, yay, of the music festival, which has tied up traffic but brought many domestic tourists to the city for dozens of Thai artists, as it's mainly geared to Thais in the city. This weekend we'll see major artists like Paper Planes, which is really well known in Thailand, especially with the youth, Big Ass, and 1 Mil, who I'm actually a big fan of. He's a famous Thai hip-hop artist, for those of you who may not be aware. They're all performing this weekend on Friday and Saturday. For most of our local readers, what you need to know is that they will be once again shutting down traffic on Beach Road from the Dolphin Roundabout until about Central Pattaya Klong. That whole area will also be lined with literally about 300 food vendors. So even if you don't like music, it's a great market to go to, take the loved ones, and go for a walk on the beach. Now that ends this weekend. And as I was saying, before everybody in the background cheering at home, well, you may not want to cheer too long because we have many more events coming up. Next weekend, Thailand is actually going to be holding a cultural festival on Pattaya Beach. This is something that we think a lot of our readers will really enjoy. This is going to be focused on Thai culture, obviously, not culture from other countries, but things such as Isan dancing, traditional basket weaving, traditional clothing making, and all sorts of different things. They're going to have a whole expo on Pattaya Beach. And by the way, it's not just going to be Pattaya. We're also going to see them focus on other provinces nearby like Rayong and Chanthaburi. So for those of you who are big fans of Thai culture, and there'll be live musical performances with Isan music, plenty of food, and more. This will be the first weekend of April on Pattaya Beach by Central Pattaya Klong. Admission is free. Then after that, we have a little bit of a bye for a while, and then comes the event that everybody's been waiting for or dreading, the Thai New Year, the Water Festival, Songkran, which we've discussed before, and for the first time in 4 years, water throwing and water shooting is allowed. You have been warned. Now, top stories for the week. What we're going to focus on first actually happened today, at least on the day that we're filming this, in which a shirtless foreign man who did not have any identification documents, and authorities, at least as of press time, we're still not sure where he came from, decided to run into a 24-hour Isan restaurant on 3rd Road located over by Soi X site, which, for those of you who haven't been in Pattaya in a while, that whole area has been renovated into a new nightlife area, mostly Thai venues, and it's very popular. Anyways, it was 3 a.m. and this guy decided it would be a good idea to walk in shirtless, off his head, screaming and yelling at customers, forcing his way into the kitchen, trying to go upstairs in the building, and more. They tried to get him out of there. Obviously, he didn't buy anything. He wasn't a customer. And that failed, so they called the police. He was arrested, taken to the police station, and continued to scream so loud the entire police station could hear him. Police let him sober up for a while. A good friend of mine told me he's probably not feeling too good this morning, and I would agree with that. So, on to our next story. The other big thing, this actually got tens of thousands of views on our website over the last week, in which a Chinese woman was held ransom and hostage in Pattaya for 4.7 million baht. Now, police stated that, here's the good news, police stated that the actual woman and her brother were released unharmed, and they were able to arrest one of the two suspects. Unfortunately, the other suspect fled the country. But there's still a lot of questions about this situation. It seems targeted. The victims have not been entirely forthcoming about what sort of connections there may be in this situation. And there were a lot of comments online of people worried about abductions or ransoms like happens in, say, South America or Mexico. But police said that that's not something to worry about, as this appeared to be a very targeted event, and they immediately took action on it. We'll continue to update you if we get any more information on if there was a connection with that. The other big news this week was that an Indian call center scam in which one of the Indian nationals was arrested here in Pattaya and 4 others were arrested across Thailand allegedly scammed American citizens, mostly elderly Americans over 75, out of 3 billion baht, or coming close, depending on exchange rates, to 100 million US dollars. That's a lot of cash. According to police, they basically were posing as FBI agents or other law enforcement agents and telling these folks that they owed money to the government and they needed to send it to them, and scaring people. Of course, it was all a scam. And the U.S. Embassy themselves are involved in this and were involved in helping catch these alleged fraudsters, who were rounded up and will be exported back to the United States, or extradited, I should say, to face the charges of allegedly scamming basically a dozen people for 3 billion baht. Now, a couple more stories that we have for you. Police have been inspecting and raiding nightlife venues all across the area over the past week. For those of you who keep up on our news on a regular basis, this is because in Patong and Phuket, a nightlife venue was caught with 6 underage individuals in the venue and is guilty of, according to Thai police, child sexual exploitation, as they were all under the age of 18 and being used for soliciting prostitution. However, upon investigation, it turns out, according to police and Big Joke, second in command of the Thai police and probably Thailand's most well-known policeman, that this bar has connections not only in Bangkok but also in Pattaya. So as a result, there's been near daily raids and inspections, and they will continue to look for any venues that may allow minors to work at them, bars, in the local area, as well as any venues that are not properly licensed to open for business. In other news this week, Pattaya teens threw a Molotov cocktail at an innocent couple who were just out for the evening, and they decided to throw a Molotov cocktail at them. Both teens were very quickly arrested within 24 hours, and they claimed that they threw the cocktail at this couple because they thought that they were their rivals in some sort of dispute about land and area and territory in Pattaya. Obviously, they were not. They were quickly arrested. Police state that they face some big jail time. Our next to last story is a Good Samaritan, as we stated at the beginning of this. A 55-year-old Thai motorbike taxi driver took a big stick, or 2x4 basically, and helped stop a deranged man at a convenience store on Jomtien Beach who entered the shop and, unprovoked and out of nowhere, attacked the staff, actually trying to slit their throats and managing to slash them in the throat. Luckily, they were injured, but they will survive their injuries. And at that point, the motorbike driver jumped in, beat up the guy, actually pretty bad in the back of the head. Some of our commenters on social media said that if that happened in other countries, that guy would have probably been held responsible too. But this is Thailand. Thai police said that the motorbike taxi driver is a hero and may have saved lives. It's still unknown why exactly this man started attacking staff at the convenience store, but police believe, here's a shocker, he may have been intoxicated. Last but not least, all week long we've been covering the AFC Beach Soccer Asian Cup on Jomtien Beach. Thailand made it for the first time in their history of playing in this cup. And there's been 18 of these cups, and Thailand has been in at least 4 of these cups. They made it to the quarterfinals. Sadly, they did lose last night, and they're out of the cup. But the good news is they left with their heads held high. The audience gave them a resounding ovation, and the coaches said that they were extremely proud of them because they made it a lot further than anybody expected, and they're really looking forward to their chances next year. So that's all that we have for this week. I thank you guys for tuning in. We want your feedback on what you think about this format. And please make sure that if you haven't already, you like, subscribe, follow, and comment about what's been going on right here and what's popping in Pattaya. Take care.